Say, look, you guys are making Navy famous. I see a signal there. Look, they're going to be becoming famous. Now, today we're going to learn a new lesson. Now, Dave, who said that, and Bernard, who said that everybody wanted the Carney Red train? Not everybody wanted it. Now we're going to explain why the ghetto lifers and the carnies in the country and western, you guys have a problem. Because, Bernard, if you destroyed blue tubes of girls with the Carney train, all they got to do now is know, if they never wanted to be Carney Red or country and western or ghetto life, is that they know that the Carney Red train of Bernardo LaFagolachance and Ellery and whoever set that in destroyed their stuff. Okay, now the Navy and all them know. So with your little science project, Bernard, with the Antilla Man, the oyster cracker experimentator man, asserting your dominant throne with Perlita and, you know, Ellery and the Roble Knight, you got to ask yourselves, do they even want it? Does the world want it? You also got to ask yourselves, Bernardo LaFagolachance, is that an established black that you guys are trying to take over? And then there's a turquoise and a peach and a blue. Are you guys trying to take over another established color? Antilla thieves? Uh-oh. I know which color they're going for. Hey, that was a pretty one. Yeah, I know which one Dave and them are all obsessed over. So don't pretend that you guys don't like the chicks when you guys do, because I know you do. So you got to ask yourselves, Bernard, as he tries to assert his ancestral throne, pretending with his bikes and swapping around and placing items with Perlita and Dave and the Bitted Fat and the Sealy of the Bitted. You got to ask Tom Serson, Jim Riley, Joe Zillig, Harry Race, Bernard LaChance, DJ Dave, Perlita Quinwan, Elton Anderson, Don Wiley, 1961 Oyster Cracker Man, Bitted Batmore, Blue Boy Boxes, GPS, Paso Robo, Rapist Knight, Red Randy, Red Gordon, and Ellery, Jim Hall, Bill Duvall, Morgan Steve Jones. You guys got to ask Bernard and Perlita in your group there if anybody even wanted your ancestral proof. Because if it's nothing but problems out here and you guys lie and do all this shit and make people's lives worse during your proving, Harry and Joe and Dave, Perlita, it kind of says something. That you're idiots. So remember, you're still building a pyramid. This is something we tried to explain to some of you. It still goes on, even though maybe pieces of it are not as much or whatever. You're still building one, Bernard, and this, you're not living by the old ancient cultures or traditions. Most of us aren't anymore, and they're going to build their armies different. The Brits are going to do it different. You guys are pretty much running that style still, even though you guys say you don't like England. The Egyptians are going to be different. Japan, ancient empires. So the four-bitted bat force Carney surveyors switch back and forth. First they like the Jews, then they don't take a piece. Then they take the little piece from here over here. Then they like the Latins all of a sudden when they made fun of them. The Russians. See, this is where Myra is home. This is going to be super famous because if she followed Boots, Mary Boots, or Haley Miranda Boots, right? She's a blue girl, and then you got another set of blue girl. They're actually going to be able to prove that the Carney train of Bernardo LaFagolachance and the Red and Red Randy are the ones screwing over the blue tubes and stole it. But get this is where the Navy, they send the signal. I see it out there. I see it. They're going to be becoming famous at the police officers, firefighters. I'm teaching them how it works. They already kind of know already, but you know, they see it out there. See, if they trust in Greg Faust and our face movement when the things were working correctly and the children were facing a different way, see, Bernard, they could prove if they trust him, and Jewish Colonel Melkov, if he was facing kind of the same way to a certain direction how things were when they worked, all the Navy and the Air Force and the military got to do, they could hold what they say, because they have small piece evidence of when children behave different and then when those of you invade. So they actually have evidence if they were a part of it, and I'm sure they were a long time ago. They got to see it. All they got to do is hold that direction on an established, if they can establish they're black, right? This is where they're going to be famous forever with the Coast Guard. I'm telling you. All they got to hold is that direction, and they now know through Greg Faust and some of their children those of you who tried to set in on an established black in the royal line, who tried to take over the turquoise, the peaches, the pink, the blues, the green, the whole rainbow. So your hero over there, I'm sorry Bernard, but you're a hero fag trying to run the red carny train that most people don't want. I never wanted it because you guys ruined my life and my friend's life over it. They now know who tried to invade all the blue tubes and destroyed it and everybody's life. And so you guys can post A's and P's all over the place, asserting your dominance in Tilleman and Blue Boy Boxes and Ellery, Zillig, Colita, Dave, Jim Hall, Bill Duvall, Morgan, Steve Jones. But now they know, you know, they can choose to accept it or deny it. I would hold wisdom and knowledge. Because basically, Bernard, Freeman's like, and you guys like to come in and take everybody's shit and run carny train and tank them. You gotta ask Polita and 61 Amphibious Base Man, in the future, did anyone ever want your truth or proof? Because as you're doing it, Dave and Harry and Joe, Bernard, you guys will ruin the world. And I never wanted red carny train. And then they prove that the red tube of carny train that Bernardo LaFagolachance runs ruined the earth and destroyed all the blue tubes and the chicks and all that stuff. And they know your routine. And see out there, I see a signal. Guess what? Guess what? It might be facing the right way. They might have trusted a man with great wisdom. That's all they gotta hold. And now they know, and they can establish their black, and they'll know all of you who are not doing what you're supposed to, who take over this city and ruin it in both directions, and then can apply it to the rest of the nation in the world, sell their information, help other nations, and become super famous. So, be careful, Bernard, you'll never know. Lots of things have happened, but they can approve you guys' invasion and how your war with Intillaman, and they're pretending, the oyster cracker experimentator man, they can prove that he's torturing people as we speak and screwing it up. And he's never had it right. He stole the shit. Because it was different coming up on that line. And your ghetto lifers look all fucked up and nasty and stupid, Bernard, because you guys forced them and us into your red carny train. And then they want us to marry them and all that shit, which ain't gonna fucking happen, Negroes. Because I told you, some of us tried to help you guys, and we told you don't do red tube and carny and football red Randy and all this stupid shit that you guys dump. So you guys are proud of it? Guess what? They're facing it that way for you. And it's going to be a rather hard and tedious life since you guys obviously didn't care or respect for anybody else's stuff when you guys got a hold of it. So I hope your war is worth it, Bernard. But ask yourself, there's going to be royal families who are going to and even the Vatican. Are you guys sure? You're sure, Bernard and the Carnies and ghetto lifers and country and western, that some of those rather old, ancient, and even modern royal lines even wanted your proof, Bernard? Because all the girls have to do, and Super Hottie Chick Myra is home, and Haley Miranda Schwartz Blue, and Kim, and Pele, and Peter Cruz Julia, and all those girls, all they got to do is prove that the red tube is ruining their blue royal line. And those of you running around telling people what to do, and you guys don't. So you got to ask, Bernard, did anybody even want it? Especially them when they're telling you guys something. We have a message to the east. We have a message to the south. To the east. To the south. To the west. To the north. And so, Joe, they gave you your throne with your idiots. And, maybe nobody wanted your proof since you were a moron anyway.